Bien, señoras y señores, continuamos en la mañana de hoy aquí en Café con Leche. La mañana de hoy sí que es un café con leche.
Sí, de verdad que sí. Calentando los huesos, el café el día de hoy, y de por sí un día donde de verdad se necesita. Las temperaturas el día de hoy muy difícilmente sobrepasando los 24 grados.
Señor.
De 24 a 25 grados la temperatura. Mira, cada rato está cambiando. Lancaster ahora están diciendo 9 grados, 13 grados en York. La alta del día de hoy apenas 24 grados para el día de hoy. Pero bueno, pasamos del calor de vecinos al calor en los momentos difíciles de la vida. Con nosotros tenemos a otros de nuestros amigos de Café con Leche, Snyder Funeral Home. ¿Quiénes tenemos aquí con nosotros en la mañana de hoy, Héctor?
Tenemos a Sarita y el señor Snyder está con nosotros en la mañana de hoy y nos estarán conversando acerca de bienvenidos.
Bienvenidos.
Bienvenidos. Lo nuevo que tiene Snyder Funeral Home dirigido a nuestra comunidad, expresamente a nuestra comunidad.
So let's start. It's been open for about a month, correct?
Yes.
The store Bienvenidos. Welcome in English is
Yes.
exactly that. It's an exact translation from the name in English. Talk to us. What's the vision? What is the why? Where did the idea come from? And what is the void, the need that Bienvenidos is filling in our community?
Well, we wanted to use the word bienvenidos because we wanted it to be an open welcome center where somebody who, whether they had the need or not, that they could feel that they could just walk in and get some information. It seems a lot in the Latino community and with certain heritages that they're afraid to hear the word funeral. Mm-hmm. So we wanted this to be away from the funeral home, but it's still it's a separate building, mm-hmm. but it's a welcome area where they could go in and get information in Spanish, that they could feel very comfortable.
Information
sitting.
about something that it's inevitable.
Yes,
it's inevitable. It is not cheap, right? Especially if you want it done right, correct? It is something that, when planned correctly, does not become a burden for the family, correct?
That is absolutely correct. We want to be able to handle everybody's wishes and needs, whether of expenditure. So we can help families out at the time of need. That way they can come in and feel very comfortable and not wait to the last minute to get information about cost. They can see what options they have. You know, there's a lot of plans to be made, sometimes up to 80 items you have to choose from. Mm-hmm. From picking your cemetery lot to choosing where you want to have the funeral, you know, the music at the churches, arranging flowers, picking caskets, burial vaults, all different things that you can choose at a funeral. People can come in very comfortable now, under no pressure, and just see what we have. We have a complete selection there where they can come in and see everything.
So it's a place to plan for something that is inevitable in the future, mm-hmm. and that you're better off certainly doing it that way. Sarita, entonces definitivamente Bienvenidos se abre en nuestra comunidad con el propósito de normalizar la relación que nosotros tenemos con algo que es inevitable en nuestra vida, que es el momento de la muerte. ¿Cuándo una persona que nos está escuchando, a qué edad, en qué momento debemos nosotros decir voy a ir a visitar a Bienvenidos?
Bueno, yo entiendo que hay muchas razones por las cuales uno debe ir a Bienvenidos. Estamos vivos, por tanto, vamos a morir. Entonces, si pensamos y queremos a nuestra familia, por ejemplo, si yo quiero a mis hijos, yo entiendo que yo debo dejar todo planeado, bien claro, de cuando yo muera, cómo yo quiero que sea mi funeral. Puedo preplanear, eso me permite quitarle el problema del costo a mi familia. Puedo elegir desde el precio del paquete que yo voy a tener para mi funeral hasta el color de mi ataúd. De manera que Snyder Funeral Home Solo tendría en el momento de mi muerte saber dónde está mi cuerpo y recogerlo.
¿Cuál es el averaje del costo de un servicio fúnebre?
Yo entiendo, if I'm not wrong, que debe estar dentro de los $3,000 hacia arriba.
Yeah,
Like
the question
the
is,
prices
what is
could
the,
be-
The average price of
for a funeral?
funeral services.
Oh, average prices would be from anywhere, to start would be $4,000, $5,000 to $6,000, and they can go up to, much more depending on your selections.
So we could say that upon our death, we will, on top of the grief, sadness, and in many cases, surprise of the death, I am going to cost my family around $6,000. So I can decide whether my family can concentrate on the natural grief, on the natural loss, sense of loss, or have to be worried about how am I going to pay.
Yep.
Which in many instances delays for the family
Right.
that process of confronting what really is happening, which is the loss of a family member, because all the family is thinking about is monetary expenses.
Exactly.
Correct, and you don't get to really go through the process of
Grief.
accepting of grief, and so it's and we know here in the station that how many times, Héctor, cuántas veces hemos nosotros hecho aquí anuncios de familias que están tratando de recoger fondos para completar, families trying to raise money to be able to go through the funeral expenses and so on and so forth. So
And I think
Muchísimas veces. Okay, go ahead.
I think it's something about dignity, about how we're going to handle our family lost. Like, I wouldn't like to put my little can in a turkey hill to collect money for my funeral. I wouldn't like to do that. If I pre-planning, if I have in mind that in any chance I can die,
Una pregunta que va atada a eso, José, es la de si una persona escoge un plan en este momento y le dice, bueno, esto te cuesta $6,000, y esa persona comienza a pagar esos $6,000, terminó de pagar esos $6,000, ese precio no va a aumentar cuando llegue el momento de que esa persona fallezca.
So that's una pregunta muy importante.
no cambia.
What we buy stays at that price, whether I live 40 more years or I die a month after I finish paying.
Correct. We've been serving and helping the Latino community for as long as I've been involved with business with my father. I mean, I'm second generation. My son's third generation. And I see, no matter what nationality or background you are, it crosses all paths of people, that the fear, the anxiety to have to worry about collecting money at the time of the death puts so much pressure on a family where they can't concentrate as a family. The grief is intense enough,
Exactly.
but to have the added burden of worrying about getting funds takes away from the family. And it gets so many people involved that when a family should be helping each other out and supporting one another, they have to be out collecting or raising or doing whatever means they could, coming to the radio station, going to churches, going to all the businesses. And I hope with this dream with Bienvenidos that people will be able to stop in there casually and start getting educated, seeing what can be done, that they can offset this and not wait to the last minute and have to scramble to get things together.
The average monthly payment that a person could get for these arrangements? Where does it start?
Well,
how high, how low could that be?
It can range with anything. What your choice is, we break that down. You can take up to, there's monthly payments. You can take up to 10 years to pay. So depending what your selections are, you can divide them in the months that you have. What 5 years would be 60 months. 10 years, 120 months. You take that.
So if we say an average of $6,000 and you have 10 years to pay it, I mean, it could be a very comfortable way to pay that amount. I mean, it gets.
And we use an insurance-based vehicle. Just say, for example, just say somebody takes a $6,000 or a $10,000 funeral, and they come in and there's some health questions. We use an insurance-based vehicle.
Exactly.
If you make one payment and you walk out and God forbid that a car would hit you and you died after one payment, the insurance company will pay for the rest of the funeral.
Okay.
So you're covered.
So you don't have to have finished paying it in order to use the benefit.
Correct.
So basically what you're buying is insurance for when it happens.
Yes, it's a special insurance. It's a life insurance based vehicle, but it's called burial insurance. So it's based, there's not like a set amounts. It's the premiums are based on your selections.
Okay. So
And it also collect face amounts. So if you don't die in the 10 period, that money is right there, and you decide who's gonna receive that money after you die.
Interesante, señoras y señores, lo que nos menciona Sarita y lo que nos menciona el señor Snyder en la mañana de hoy.
Esto,
O sea,
lo que usted está comprando es un seguro. Es decir, que no es que usted tiene que haber pagado el 100%.
Los $6,000, por ejemplo,
lo que
si
sea.
es lo que usted...
No,
Ajá.
usted está pagando una mensualidad para un seguro que si usted, después que pagó la primera mensualidad, desafortunadamente fallece, automáticamente sus costos están cubiertos porque usted compró un seguro.
Y esto es algo en lo que debemos pensar definitivamente. Según compramos cualquier otra cosa, nosotros debemos asegurarnos de que cuando llegue ese momento...
Son cosas difíciles.
Es muy difícil, es muy difícil. Y por eso es como nos explica Sarita y el señor Snyder, es que llegó bienvenido.
Sí.
Porque es difícil. Y por más que se le trate de explicar a la gente, todavía muchas personas dicen, yo no voy a preocupar porque yo recuerdo una vez, se lo mencionaba a un ser querido mío y me decía, ¿cómo voy a ir yo a escoger la caja donde me van a sepultar?
Sí.
Mira, es preferible no solamente escogerla, sino asegurarse
Sí,
de que está pagada. There's also something very important that happens here, that by pre-planning, you take a lot of the subjectivity away from the family. Because it is a natural thing that when a loved one dies, you begin to spend beyond your means. But if you have prepaid for what you're going to do, you can say, you know what, that's what he picked, that's what she picked. This is the box. This is I don't know. This is how many candles.
This is the color of flowers.
This is the color of flowers. This is it. This is his or her wishes, and it's done. And you take that subjectivity away from the family of feeling that they have to overspend or do something that is beyond their means at that moment.
It gives the families, after this is done, and they know that their loved one has done this for them. It gives them all peace of mind.
Absolutely.
There's so much peace that they don't have the pressure of doing that, going out to worrying about how are we going to pay for this. And I just wanted to say one other very important thing about the insurance is within the Latino community, a lot of families maybe live in Puerto Rico or in Florida. They have Lancaster. They move to different spots. They move around. Zarita's from the Dominican Republic, and you might move back home. One of the most beautiful things about having this burial insurance, it's transferable. So what that means is, even though you've come to our Bienvenidos and pre-planned and picked everything, and all of a sudden all your family moves down to Miami,
You can use the insurance there.
it goes with you.
Yep.
Goes with it.
We are not the owners. The person who pays for it is the owner. It is theirs. It
You are
doesn't.
selling the product that can be used then anywhere.
Yes. What we're doing is we've given the guarantee. We've assumed the liability for them that if you come to us, we will. But there would be many, many other funeral homes who would be willing to take that
Yep.
if somebody moves. So it's a beautiful plan. And the only way that then at the time of death, then the funeral director gets paid the funds you have to apply for them.
Give us an address. Where is Bienvenidos? ¿Dónde está localizado, Sarita?
406 East King Street.
406 de la East King. Está Bienvenidos. Ahí usted puede obtener mayor información. Y definitivamente en español.
En español.
Sí.
No hay que hacer
Y
cita.
no hay que hacer cita, simplemente va y entra.
Llegar allí y,
Sí.
y
Además,
pedir información.
tenemos lo que se llama Lunch and Learn every month. Cada mes tenemos almuerzo y aprende. Es una forma de informar a la comunidad, no solamente hispana, a los anglos también. Está implementado hace varios años, informándole a todo el mundo en qué se trata, pre-planning, de qué se tratan los funerales.
Súper.
Bueno.
¿Cuándo va a ser este mes que viene? ¿Cuándo es?
El día 11, me
11.
parece, próxima semana.
Next month.
Yep, próxima semana.
Para la próxima semana, ok.
En Lombardos.
Bueno,
Thank you.
muchísimas gracias, damas y caballeros. Continuamos entonces. Continuamos, ¿no?
Ya
Despedimos
nos vamos,
nuestro
señoras y
café con
señores.
leche.
Nos fuimos por la mañana de
Muchísimas
hoy.
gracias por haber estado con
Thank you,
nosotros.
Sarita. Con Mr.
Muchas
Snyder.
gracias.
Thank you so much.
You're
Gracias.
welcome.
Thank you for bienvenidos. Ya, gracias por bienvenidos, José. Nos fuimos.
Nos fuimos, entonces
todos
será
buen
hasta
día.
mañana. Recuerde prepararse para la nieve del día de mañana.
Sean todos muy buen día. Gracias.